Welcome everybody to another edition of Around the Rink. We are joined today by Mark Peterson, the head coach for our Team Saskatchewan Male team. Mark's certifications include, he is a Hockey Canada certified skills coach, and he has climbed the ladder all the way to High Performance 2 certification. Welcome, Mark.
Thanks for having me, Blaine.
Today, our topic we wanted to chat about was the Hockey Canada Network app and some of the benefits and features that coaches would see in it. So first of all, why do you think all of our Saskatchewan coaches should be using the Hockey Canada Network app?
The number one reason I think the coaches should take advantage of this is the time that can be saved by using the app. I'm 38. I've never come across a minor hockey coach that does it as a full-time job. And it pays all their bills. And so minor hockey coaches are also doing a lot of other things, like be volunteering against parents, maybe non-parent coach, but they all typically have other careers. And the Hockey Canada app has some really fantastic resources that can help you save time. They've got their season plans in there. They've got individual drills, individual skills, team tactics. It can help you with your planning, from whether it be the full season to an individual drill that you're looking for in your stock. So it's really, to me, it comes down to, for minor hockey coaches, about saving time and helping with preparation.
Now, you touched on some of the features in the app, but is there a few other features in there that you also really like what Hockey Canada has done?
I do, and if you're watching this in some of the coaches clinics that I've done, sometimes the feedback on the app has been that there's not much in there. If you haven't logged into the app in a couple of years, I strongly suggest doing so, because it's been updated and there's some really good things in there. Some video of drills and different things like that. But one, for me as a coach, the ability to share drills with your staff or your players is really good. There's season plans in there. There's goalie specific drills. Sorry goalies, but lots of times you get forgotten about. So if the goalie coach maybe doesn't necessarily have a lot of experience, there's lots of things that can help with the app, or in the app, with goaltending coaching. There's national team drills. There's lots of different things that I think Hockey Canada has done a really good job of updating this app to be user-friendly for coaches.
Now, do you have an example of your recent coaching where you've used the app and within a season that, whether you share it with players, teammates, and how did you use the app?
Well, if I put my coaching hat on in terms of ways that I've used the app on, sometimes, as much as this is sometimes hard for coaches to admit it, we maybe aren't the best at demonstrating certain skills. Maybe those days are behind us. And so using the app to show players or show your coaching staff how you want the drill to go from the video from the app is really good. And then I've also had a situation where maybe a player was hesitant or not sure, questioning why we're going to go down this road for a skill and why it would be applicable for them, and I don't really need to do that. And you show the skill, and then in most of the drills there's also a game applicable skill to it. And I think that just connecting those dots, and it's typically that example is from a national team player, usually current. There are some older videos out there, but usually it's from the most recent World Juniors, the World Championships, the Olympics, the Four Nations Cup. And I think that really drives home that just like a little extra reinforcement that these are the players that you're trying to model, or where you want to strive to be. And I think that that's a really good way to get buy-in. And then for me too, sometimes we get stuck with our favorite drills. If you have your repetition of drills to try and do different things, and if you're ever stuck or you need some new ideas in practice, you can search in for like angling, and you'll find a bunch of angling drills. You can find a bunch of checking drills and different things like that, just to add to your repertoire. So lots of use it lots, Blaine. They really do.
Yeah, I think just on a personal note, I just remember helping a guy coach, and he was using the app, and he had shared it with his team. And the cool thing was, kids all have their phones, and so you could hear the kids looking at it before practice, couple of kids arguing about how the drill actually was, how it was supposed to be done properly. And it was kind of neat how they were really digging into the key teaching points of the drill. So yeah, it's a great way to keep your players current and fully informed, I guess, would be what I'm getting at there. You did talk about the ability to share practice plans and resources. So this is, as we touched on a little bit, this is fully available to every team member, even if I'm not a have the full subscription.
Yeah, so you can create, as a coach, if you go to any coaching clinic in Saskatchewan, you get access to the app for a year, which you get an access code and you get full meal deal for it. You can also buy it. I think it's like $5 or $10 for the year. If that's something, and please, coaches, feel free to charge that back to your minor hockey association, as it should be a coach development fee. But the ability to share, as Blaine was talking about, with players, but also with your staff, is really important. You can create training plans. You can share individual practice plans, so that your coaches are all on the same page. It can also be a good networking and brainstorming idea for coaches to dig in. If you've got a defense coach, a forwards coach, a skills coach, a goalie coach, maybe you're just all of those things, but you can brainstorm ideas and plan that way. And depending on your age, you might want to share your practice plan with your players ahead of time. And then also, I think video is a great teaching tool. I don't know if we need to start having Instat or the prospect exchange being used at U13 or U11 or some of those ages, but you can use video in a different way, and you can send individual drills or skills from the app directly to players if they want to see them. But again, once you get to U13, U15, maybe U18, you can start to actually share practices, so that you don't spend as much time going through those things, whether it be before practice or on the ice, because time is valuable. And if you're in rural Saskatchewan, you've got players that are commuting and families that are commuting, and if you have a rule in place that you have to be here 60 minutes before practice, but that family has to drive 2 hours, sometimes that's tough to do. So by sharing that information, you can again, it comes back to the original idea of the app. It can be a huge time saver. Communication was increased, and I think that in turn responds to an increased engagement in your group.
We know the Hockey Canada app has great features for the drills portion of it. There's lots of practice plans. The drills have videos that are with it. There's also a video of a national team gameplay that Mark had spoke about. So there becomes this connection. But Mark, is there some other features in the app that you wanted to make mention?
Yeah, there is for sure. And I think one more that I want to add in before I get into some of the extras and maybe the non-hockey ones is Hockey Canada has the long-term player development models out there. They also have the skills checklist and skills matrix for each U7 all the way up to U18. And sometimes those are really good to share with families too at your parent meeting, so that people know. It kind of serves as a checkpoint for you as a coach and your staff to say, hey, do my kids have these skills? How can I help them obtain these skills so that they can continue to log the game and play at the highest level that they possibly can? So that's one other feature. And then they also have some things on off-ice training. Like they have dynamic warm-ups. They have a couple different workouts. They have yoga, which is really hockey yoga that's been developed. And then they've got some health and nutrition stuff on there. They've got information on officiating, and they've also got some information about pair hockey and ways you can get involved in that. So when you dig into those, if I'm thinking of, you can share these things with your team. They have access to them. So maybe you want to have team workouts, but everybody's traveling 90 minutes for a practice. So you can assign and share the workout with them, or you can assign the yoga with them, and then they can actually do those things on their own. Yeah, you have to maybe worry about if they're going to be doing them or not, but I would say that if you have a scheduled workout, you might have people that aren't participating to the best of their ability anyway. So again, this app for me comes down to saving some time and efficiencies for different things. It's also good for families to be able to look at nutrition and things like that, especially once you get into tournament season and things like that. Families can be aware of some nutrition options. And again, I think that as coaches and advocates of the game, and what we want to do is make sure that we're providing as many opportunities and as much information to our players and their families as possible, to pack as many tools in their toolbox. And then when we do that, it allows them to take those tools and apply them, whether it be in a game, a beautiful hockey game, practice, or the off-ice things that come with hockey and the friendships and lifelong learning. And maybe you learn about nutrition, and that's something that they didn't know. So there's many takeaways, and as much as the game sometimes about wins and losses, it's also about developing people and humans. And I think Hockey Canada has done a really good job with incorporating some of those aspects into this app.
Now, Mark, obviously the majority of the coaches in Saskatchewan are at a grassroots level. So, and then when I look at your profile, like you're our Team Sask head coach, you've reached certified status as a skills coach with Hockey Canada, high performance too. So how would that app benefit a coach at your level?
I think that the app for me is sometimes a refresher, and it's for some of the courses and different things that I've done. And one of the beautiful things about this app is that I did my skills certification, I think in 2021 or 2022, and then I did my Ep2 in 2019 or 2018. So that's a few years ago. The nice thing about the app is that the information that gets passed on from the next skills group or the next high performance 2 group gets included in the app. And so the new ideas, the game is changing and evolving all the time. And when you see those new things, you can add those into your toolbox. I've used the app in the last couple of years coaching with players, with having conversations with families, that's from a team perspective. Like there's lots of ways you can use it. And I think the most important thing for coaches to remember is that whether you're coaching a U7 team and when you're at Saskatchewan, and you're coaching U18 AAA team in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, there's things that you can pull from this app, and you have to make it work the way it works for you. And there's so much information on here that it's important not to get overloaded, but find how it works and start small and go from there. But there's lots of good resources on there that, again, can save you time and make your life more efficient as a coach.